Now, before I start this video, let's just make something very clear. I am not a Joe Rogan show in the slightest. I don't even remember the last time I did a video on Joe Rogan. All you guys who watch my videos will know that I rarely speak about this man because, I just don't watch his content that much like I used to be honest with you guys. But I will say that Joe Rogan, for the most part, has some pretty decent takes. There are some stuff he says that I disagree with, and there are some things that I do agree with. This particular video, we're going to talk about how Joe Rogan has completely roasted not only Target, but Bud Light as well, for losing billions from just completely virtue signaling to the LGBTQ. And apparently he came out with a statement that said, stop shoving this down everybody's throat. It's such a simplistic statement, but it's one that I think everybody can agree with, that this boycott is trying to virtue signal to, and we're going to get into it, guys. So of course, before we do, just consider giving this video a like to push us out into the YouTube algorithm, and consider subscribing because we're on our way to 24,000 subscribers. It says, Joe Rogan roasts Target Bud Light for losing billions from backlash. Stop shoving this down everybody's throat. Joe Rogan slammed activists for trying to change the way people view sexuality and gender, and noted they're proselytizing. Hope I said that word right. It says, podcaster Joe Rogan blasted Bud Light and Target, saying many Americans have decided that they had enough. And I agree. I've been saying this time and time again in all the videos we've been making. Normal Americans, everyday people, left, right, and center, they've had enough. They don't want to deal with this anymore. They're tired of hearing about it. You want to be gay the entire year. That's the problem. Like, what started off as Pride Month virtue signaling has now become an all-year virtue signaling thing. I remember looking up something where it said about half of the year is dedicated to some sort of LGBTQ virtue signal or cause. Half of the year, ladies and gentlemen, they want to make it the entire year. They want to make absolute dominance over regular and normal people. That's essentially their goal. It says, with massive companies facing backlash for engaging in woke messaging, Rogan's guest, stand-up comedian Theo Von, proposed an app that could show customers of a business where they put their political money. A little of that is going on right now with all that woke shit. Rogan responded, Target lost billions of dollars because they tried to have this Pride selection. Now, here's the thing with having an app that tracks political donations, right? Not everything is politically driven, right? So a lot of this stuff that's going on with Target and with Bud Light isn't necessarily political. So if you have an app that tracks political donations, it's not going to do you much if most of the money actually goes to organizations and not specific political parties. So like Glisten, for example. Glisten is probably one of the biggest organizations right now that is getting a massive amount of funding from different corporations to push LGBTQ and gender ideology specifically to underage kids. That's the entire reason why that organization Glisten exists. Now, would they come up on an app that tracks political donations? I don't think so, because they're not technically a political party and they're not technically affiliated with any political party. So because of that, that would go untracked. That would go unnoticed. I would be more interested in knowing what money are these companies donating to specific organizations and what do those organizations stand for. I'm more interested in that than anything else. So it says, and obviously the Bud Light thing with Dylan Mulvaney, they've lost $20 billion, Rogan added. Can you imagine? You're just going to send a fucking can to a confused person that day, 365 of woman grifting, and you send that person a fucking can with their face on it, and your company loses 20 billion, Rogan said? That is wild shit, man. And you know what? It is, though. And I wouldn't call him confused. Dylan Mulvaney is very much not confused. Dylan Mulvaney knows exactly what the hell he's doing. That's why he's such a good grifter. He has convinced people that he's some psychopath that doesn't know what he's doing, and I guarantee you, you're wrong. Dylan Mulvaney is fully aware of his grift. He is fully aware of what is making him money, making him famous, and he knows exactly what the hell he's doing. So he's not some confused psychopath. He definitely knows what it's taking to get money and grifting on the trans movement, in my opinion. It says, so we're seeing now that what we never saw before, where people are going, enough, stop shoving this down everybody's throat, Rogan observed. He went on to suggest that much of the far-left messaging today from major corporations like Target has gone beyond the pale for society. When I go to Target, I don't want to be shit like fucking tucking pants, like they're designed to help tuck your dick, Rogan said. Hey, that's not normal. I don't want that right in front of everybody. It's weird. And I 100% agree, and that's what a lot of people are thinking. They don't want to see what's obviously ridiculous being pushed as if it's some sort of norm. But again, Target took it to that level. Target took it to a level that no other corporation or company took it to. Everybody who was virtue signaling for LGBTQ, they were doing it in the most simplistic way that they always do, because at the end of the day, let's be real, during corporate gay month, every corporation is super lazy. They don't want to necessarily do any kind of virtue signal that's actually going to mean anything. They want to take the most simplest way possible to virtue signal to gay people in the hopes that they then spend their money at their corporation. That's all it's for at the end of the day, and it's also to up their ESG scores. ESG scores and compliance don't necessarily have a tier system of just how gay do you get before you get get points. It's not like that. They have a very simplistic system that says, okay, if you get gay here for XYZ amount of days, if you hire XYZ amount of people, XYZ amount of this, it's all about numbers to them. So it's not about the tiers, it's about how much can you produce. So that's what it's really about. So for Target, they decided to go just a next step beyond and get ultra gay, ultra trans, ultra everything to try to garner as much as they possibly could during the month of June. It says he added that the vanguard of transgender movement is pushing ideology in a way that resembles religious conquest. I agree with that too. There's a lot of fucking real weirdness with this group of people that is trying to change the way people view sexuality and gender. He said they're proselytizing. Bond reiterated his app idea to track what political causes a company donates to before doing business with them to help people ensure that they put their money where their beliefs are. But why should that even be a thing? Isn't that crazy though? Like these corporations, Target, Walmart, they're there to provide a product. They're there to sell you something, right? They're there to sell you something. Why do I give a shit what the political leanings of a company is? The only reason why I give a shit about it now is because I've been forced to. I've been forced to because it's been shoved down my throat so much that now I have no choice but to recognize it. And that's what they want. They want you to have to see politics everywhere. They want you to see identity politics everywhere you go. It says on Friday, Target stock fell 3.26%, with stock losing over $15 million in market value since mid-May. As of Tuesday evening, the stock price of Anheuser-Busch InBev has dropped about 15% compared to where it was a month ago, while sales for the week ending May 27th decreased 23.9% compared to a year ago. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, Joe Rogan is absolutely right. Target and Bud Light are getting roasted, and rightfully so. Target and Bud Light should get roasted for their decisions to get woke and go broke, and they really thought that they were not going to get any backlash from it. And you know what? I can't even blame them for thinking that way. You want to know why? It's because a lot of these corporations have been able to get away with this nonsense every single Pride Month. Every single time they virtue signal, they get away with this nonsense. This is the first time that we have seen that people have decided to wake up and say, enough is enough. You're not getting away with this nonsense anymore. You're not getting away with this very clear virtue signal anymore. You're not getting away with this mindset where you're trying to convince people that it's totally fucking okay to teach sexuality to kids. Like, that's never going to be a thing. It's never going to be accepted, and you're going to have a war before that's ever accepted. I want to be very clear. Like, people are going to go down fighting on this particular issue. They do not want to just sit back idly by while corporations, politicians, and everybody in between wants to try to convince you that that shit is normal. It is not normal. It never will be normal, and at the end of the day, I really hope that they come down strong on this one. To see the parents out there fighting and people going insane, just completely destroying these corporations for what they're doing, we need to see more of it. We need to see these companies burn to the ground as fast as humanly possible. I love to see it, to be honest with you. I cannot wait to see more, and let's see what the future holds for not only Bud Light, not only Target, but any corporation that's getting woke during Pride Month and any month past that. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.